Hey guys, welcome back to Previa Alliance. It's Sarah.
And Whitney.
Another fan favorite. Whitney, you ready?
Let's do this.
Hey Whitney, here we go.
In the hot seat again.
Hey Whitney, I just found out I was pregnant and previously suffered a miscarriage. I'm struggling.
Hard.
I keep fearing I'm going to lose this baby. Any help?
So first off, I want to validate that is so realistic for you to have those fears and concerns. And your anxiety about losing this baby comes from a place of protection.
Yeah.
Because as moms, we innately want to protect our babies. And miscarriage is hard because there's nothing that you did or didn't do that caused that miscarriage. There's nothing that the doctors could have done to prevent it. It is one of those horrible things that people go through.
And it's a loss, it's a grief.
It is.
Experiencing too, myself, I want to say that is one of the hardest heartaches
Yes.
that I've ever experienced.
Oh, yeah.
And I struggled with both my pregnancies after with anxiety and detachment.
Mm-hmm.
So what is something when she's overwhelmed with those thoughts?
So remind yourself too that your thoughts are coming from a place of protection, that they are not bad thoughts.
Right.
We don't want them to turn into an intrusive thought where they kind of spiral, where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to start bleeding, I'm going to miscarry. We don't want to have that inevitable thinking.
Because thoughts are thoughts, right?
Yes, thoughts are thoughts.
They're fleeting.
Absolutely. Thoughts are not truth.
Right. So thoughts are something that we can recognize,
Yes.
but not validate.
Agreed.
And get entrapped in that.
Agreed. So just know your thoughts, your anxiety comes from a place of protection. That means you're a good mom. You want to keep this baby safe. I would also encourage you to do positive affirmations of, right now, I'm still pregnant. Right now, I haven't bled.
Right.
Right now, the doctor says this, pregnancy is going well. Baby is growing. There was a heartbeat when I went to my last appointment. All those kinds of things. And also, if your OB, midwife, whoever your healthcare provider is aware of that miscarriage, they may put you on some progesterone to lessen the likelihood of a miscarriage.
I know that I went on progesterone with Will, and then I had such anxiety in between appointments. They let me come in more frequent, but I was honest. I said, I need this. Yeah. And as I got a home Doppler, which it made me feel better. It can make you be more anxious.
Agreed.
So that's something you have to decide.
Yes.
But I think reaching out to support.
Yes.
And saying, I'm struggling with this. And just trying to find the joy in that moment is what helped me.
And as hard as this positive affirmation is, your body is your oldest ally.
Yeah.
Your body did not experience a miscarriage as a form of like vengefulness or malice. Unfortunately, miscarriages happen and we don't always know the why.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part, because if we knew the why, we could fix it.
Right.
And that's likely where this mom is coming from, is that she wants to be able to fix and prevent.
Yeah. And miscarriage is extremely common, 1 in 3.
Oh.
If not more.
Not more.
Because sometimes you miscarry before you even know you're pregnant.
Agreed. We talk about chemical pregnancies often, or hormonal pregnancies.
Right.
And then too, sometimes moms miscarry at home.
Very hard.
Very hard, and so it may not be reported.
Yeah.
So I think that it could be a slightly higher percentage. To this mom, I would encourage you to allow yourself to grieve your previous pregnancy. That's appropriate. That's okay. That doesn't mean you love this baby any less because you grieve the loss of your other baby.
And I think grief and joy can coexist, and people do not think that.
It's hard.
We planted a tree for our first loss, and then I always, in my dates, remember their birth dates. So
absolutely,
you're not alone. But as Whitney said, I think recognizing this thought, moving it past, meditation, voice journaling,
that's
support,
gonna be big.
And taking it day by day. That's what I had to do some days.
Absolutely. That's
so
all you can do.
You're not alone. We're sorry for your loss. You've got this. We want to encourage you.
And if there's a grief support group in your area, that could be something that could be super helpful.
Yeah.
I would encourage you to go to Postpartum International Support or PSI Support, because they can actually help link you up
with other groups.
Yes, with a grief support group. So even if there's not one in your area, there could be one in another area that's done virtually.
Okay.
And you could attend that way.
Love that.
So that might be an option. That way you don't feel alone, because you're not. But miscarriage is a very lonely place to be.
It's very isolating.
It is.
Okay. Well, this is turning tables a little bit. Hey, Whitney, my mother has strong feelings how I should be taking care of my baby.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother-in-law has strong feelings that are the opposite. How do I navigate this one?
Well, first off, I'm really sorry, because that is just...
That's hard.
That's a headache.
Yeah, I would...
That is just frustrating and annoying.
Uh-huh.
Because this is your baby.
I was going to say, at the end of the day, you're the mom, you're the baby, but I do know if you're a first-time mom, it's hard because you get a lot of noise.
Yeah, you do.
A lot of
Unsolicited
opinions. So how can she kind of just know? I guess let's break it down. So first off, how does she politely handle this?
So part of it is, do you agree with either your mom or your mother-in-law?
Okay.
Or is it like we have 3 different approaches? Your approach, your mom's approach, and your mother-in-law's approach.
What if we'll say that she has her own approach.
Okay. So with that, you just tell your mom, I really appreciate you trying to help, because we're going to give benefit of the doubt here that the intentions are good.
Yeah.
You say, I really appreciate your help. You did such a good job raising me, and if you have siblings, you can include them in that. However, this is something that my pediatrician has recommended, especially if we're talking like feeding, nap schedules, things of that nature.
How to dress your child.
Yeah. So you can say, per the pediatrician, this is their recommendation. This is what they would prefer us do. Or you can say, I've really researched heavily into this, and this is what I want to do. And sometimes it can come down to like a car seat safety thing.
Yeah.
So you have to say, I really understand that you want to turn my baby around forward facing, but that's not the safest thing for them at this age, height, weight, what have you. Say the same thing to your mother-in-law.
Okay.
Validate that they hopefully are coming from a place of good intentions, but either per the pediatrician's recommendation, which is a super easy way to kind of,
blame the professional
pediatrician,
here.
because honestly, are they going to see the ped? No.
No, they're not.
No.
Now, there may be some where they come at you with opposite, we'll call it research for lack of better.
Yes.
And then I guess another thing is boundaries.
Yeah. So with that, again, let's just say you do you validate them. You've
tried the nice way.
Yeah. You've tried to be diplomatic about it. And they keep on keeping on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you say, I hear you, but this is my baby, and this is how me and my significant other are choosing to do this.
And just keep it at that.
Yeah.
And hold strong.
Oh, yeah. Just like my mom, with both my daughters, really wanted to turn them around forward-facing at 2, which that is the law. But both my children have bigger heads. They always have. And our pediatrician has said because of that, they really need to stay rear-facing at least till they're 2.5.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Because who's driving them 99% of the time? Me. And honestly, if you follow Safe in the Seat on Instagram,
that's a great one.
That's a wonderful resource. Lots of free tips and all the things on there. They will tell you all the time that, kids can go crisscross applesauce in the back seat, that their legs are way more flexible than our legs. So long legs is not a reason to forward face.
Yeah.
My mom, love her so much, great help. She really wants to turn my 2-year-old forward facing. And I'm just like, nope, we haven't had our 2-year checkup yet with the doctor. But just like her older sister, we're probably going to rear face until 2.5.
Yeah. So you just held that boundary.
Oh, yeah.
You recognized.
Because it's a safety thing for us.
And then even if it's not safety and it's just like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to do what you're telling me to do.
Absolutely.
I think it's still fine to say, this is my child.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just holding strong.
Oh, yeah.
And I know it's hard in the postpartum period or even pregnancy period. Gosh, you got all the hormones.
Mm-hmm.
But give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Hold strong. Blame a professional if nothing else. Or at the end of the day, this is how I'm going to dress little Billy. Because I'm the mom and this is what I'm choosing.
Or, I want to keep my kids rear facing because I just want to keep them rear facing.
Yeah. So you're not alone in this to this mom. I think this is a lot of things. It happens. It does not mean they're trying to come at you or parent your child. It's just sometimes it was done to them. They do it to you. They feel.
Yes, that comes
it's a
back
cycle.
To a generational thing too, and things have changed.
Yeah.
Because I have seen pictures of me as a baby back in the 80s where, like, I was sleeping on my belly. There were stuffed animals everywhere. There was a blanket or two on me.
Oh, yeah.
And I told my mom, I was like, you were trying to kill me of SIDS. Like, you want, that's what you were trying to do. Because when my oldest daughter came along, I was like, okay, like, nothing in the crib except for a passy.
Yeah.
And a Velcro swaddle and all this. And my mom's like, but what if they get cold? And I'm like, that's why you put on layers.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you do socks. That's why you do the little cuffs on the hands. And all
that.
And she's like, but it's January. And I'm like, and our heat works in the house. Like,
it's a whole thing.
It is a generational thing for sure. And so you have to know too, their information is what was best at that time.
So they're coming from a point of, I did it and I did it. And you may hear, well, you survived, didn't you?
Oh, that drives me up a wall. But now we know better, we do better.
So hang on to that. Where we're at, we know better. We have resources.
Yes.
Blame it on the professional in the day.
Yep. Oh, it's so easy, much easier to do it that way.
All right, the next one. I feel like my friends without kids and I are drifting apart. Any advice here, Whitney? This one's
I hate to say this
hard.
Is pretty common because now that you have a child, you're strapped to feeding and nap schedules.
Yeah.
And when your child gets older, most likely extracurriculars.
Sports,
Sports, dance, school functions, all the things. So unfortunately, your schedule is not as free as it used to be. So let's just call it for what it is.
You're not sleeping the way you used to sleep.
Oh, good heavens, no.
You're not probably able to go out like you used to go out.
Oh, no.
And I think it even probably changes once you're trying to get pregnant. And then once you're pregnant, that kind of is where it may have started and you may not recognize that.
Yeah.
But once that baby comes, and I think too with motherhood, we call it a tribe a lot, right?
Yes.
And it's your friends with kids have lived it in trenches with you.
Yep.
There's kind of like, you text me, I don't respond for a couple hours. I'm not mad at you.
Yeah.
Maybe, my friend's Holy Hell's break closed at the house.
Yeah.
And I'm just now coming surfacing back up.
Yeah, dumpster fire going on.
Yeah. So I think to be honest to that friend and say, I love you.
It's not you, it's me.
It's me. It's me in my life, and I'm trying to balance my new role. I'm trying to balance having a human that needs me 24/7.
Absolutely.
And then finding time, like if it's, you may not be able to do those hour-long phone calls or hour-long drinks or go out to eat as much.
Yeah.
But it's just like a text. I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
I appreciate, I have one friend specifically, she had 2 kids when I was trying to get pregnant, and how she made time for me. I didn't recognize and appreciate how much she did when I didn't. Now I have children. I'm like, even those little things was so impactful because now I'm like, so it's normal.
It is. And, again, nobody's at fault.
No, you're not trying to exile this person.
Exactly. Nobody has, like you said, exiled or said, sorry, I'm done with that friendship now. Life has changed significantly.
Yeah.
One thing me and my best friend do, which her kids are just older, so we're in different stages.
Yeah.
Of motherhood, is we voice text each other.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
So that way, like, it's there and we feel like we're talking to each other, but I don't have to be, like, on the phone for an hour straight or, things of that nature.
Yeah.
So that's been helpful for us because, we still get to hear each other's voice and all the things. So there are ways around that. I have some clients that say they use Marco Polo to do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there are ways that you can still have that connection. It is a shift.
It is. And it's not one of those shifts that you're never, like, you're not going to go pre-baby again.
No.
So, like, that shift is going to continue. So, like, if this friendship's important to you, you both have to evolve with who you are now. And that's a mother. And that's time restraints. So, you have to have that honest conversation.
Yeah.
Because it's never going to be like it was before.
Agreed. And, honestly, about the time you feel like you're getting out of the newborn toddler fog, either you're going to have another child or they're going to have a child.
And you're going to restart.
Yep, and you restart. And biggest thing with that is just being flexible.
And just saying, I see you. You're still really important to me.
I'm just drowning.
I'm drowning right now.
Yeah.
So you're not alone, and that happens. It ebbs and flows. Okay, our last one today. This one's a good one.
Okay.
Hey, Whitney, I do not feel like myself sexually anymore after birth. Yeah. My body feels touched out. I don't enjoy it. It's impacting my relationship.
So this is extremely common, and I want to throw this out there to you. Why would you expect yourself to have the same sexual drive that you had pre-baby?
Yeah.
When you've been through, it could have been the best labor and delivery ever. No complications.
But you still grew a human inside you.
Yeah, you grew a human, and it came out of you either through your stomach or vaginally. So do you really want any of that messed with?
And then if you're breastfeeding.
Yeah, even if you're not, you go through the engorgement and having to dry up. It's not enjoyable.
It kind of takes, the children take your sexual, I would say body parts, lack of better words here, and use it to deliver a child or feed a child or just
sustain that human life.
It just happens, and you're bleeding, you're leaking.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Our bodies, unfortunately, are a war zone.
Yeah.
After having a baby.
I don't think guys ever get it.
No.
Because they're just like, they don't understand. They didn't experience, they didn't go through it.
No.
So they just think your body, I mean, some may give more appreciation to that body.
Yeah.
Others have no idea how tapped out you are. You've had a baby strapped to your chest all day.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, I don't want to be touched.
And you're sleep deprived.
Yeah. So sometimes sexual activity is the last thing on your mind.
Oh, for sure. And also the hormone shift that we go through.
You may not even want it.
Yeah, I was about to say, your libido is going to be pretty tapped out.
Yeah.
That's not alarming to me because, again, we are going through a pretty significant hormone shift. I know a lot of mamas struggle, too, with how different their body looks.
Because it takes
of the
a
weight
bit.
gain. And even if you lose all the baby weight, things may not go back quite to how they were before.
No, and then, we've had Emily, our pelvic floor therapist, like she brought up some good things.
Yes.
You may have physical pain there.
Yeah.
That is related to your pregnancy and delivery that makes that sexual activity hurt.
Yeah. And so it's not pleasant.
So it's common. We want you to say this is common. You're not alone. Your spouse, your partner probably is not having the heavy load of the child, especially during the postpartum period.
Yeah.
So they're not feeling the sensory overload like you. They're probably not understanding how you are.
And they don't have a physical and hormonal recovery to experience.
They've kind of just, they're riding the wave of this whole experience with you, but they're not dipping and dropping their estrogen and progesterone and testosterone. Even breastfeeding and what it can do to dry up secretions.
Yes.
There's a lot of things at play. So what can this mom do?
So first of all, if you and your significant other have a good relationship, tell them that it's not about them or that you're rejecting them. It's that you're at a place where you're not necessarily ready mentally or physically.
And just because the doctor says 6 weeks, follow up, you're clear, that's not necessarily the truth.
Nope.
And that doesn't account to your mental health in that.
Exactly. So, and here's another thing. Kind of set your expectations low as far as frequency.
Yeah.
Because, again, you're sleep deprived. You really never know what each day will hold, especially in that first year of baby's life. Things happen. And so set your expectations low on frequency. Have that open and honest conversation with your significant other. Tell them that it truly isn't about them specifically, but you've been through quite a bit and you do need time to recover.
Yeah.
And maybe there are other things that you can do that aren't sex that makes you feel close. Like, can you sit together on the couch and watch a movie?
Yeah.
Things like that make you feel more connected.
I'm going to throw this out here. If he wants to take the night shift and give you a night of sleep,
yeah,
that might change some things.
Yeah.
Gonna be honest there. So, but having that conversation.
Yeah,
if you're not
absolutely.
sleeping and this is the 3rd, 4th month and you've not slept,
oh, Lord help you,
and you have some quiet time, you want to sleep.
Yeah. And you need it.
And if you're seeing him sleep when you're not sleeping, that's not going to make you want to do anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then if you're having pain, go back to our pelvic floor episode.
Absolutely.
So you're not alone. Communicate.
Yes.
And this is something, like, as we talked about, phases, stages of life.
Yeah. It won't last forever.
This is not forever.
No.
But reach out, communicate, and you're not alone.
Absolutely. So this is extremely common.
And I just don't think a lot of people talk about it.
Well, it's a little, especially in the South yet again.
Little taboo.
Little taboo. People get embarrassed about it, but there's nothing embarrassing about this.
No. Moms, you guys give us the best questions.
You do. Good
Keep
job,
sending
guys.
them. Whitney, rockstar.
Thank you.
Until next time, guys.
All right, bye, y'all.